Sorry. You startled me a little bit. I didn't think anyone else was up this late. Speaking of which, why are you awake? Aren't we all supposed to be sleeping? I guess that's true. I have no room to talk since I'm awake too. But, in all fairness, I'm just too excited to sleep. After all, we're finally going to become hunters. But, you don't seem all that excited. Are you just having trouble sleeping? Oh, you're feeling a little nervous? Well, I guess that's understandable. After all, the hunter exam is supposed to be pretty dangerous. But you shouldn't be worrying too much about that. After all, I'm sure we'll all be okay. You especially. You really look like you came prepared. You didn't come fully prepared? What do you mean by that? Oh no! You didn't bring anything to help you sleep? Here, could you hold this for a second? Oh, it's just my fishing rod. I need to look through my bag for something. I think I should still have some left. If I do, you can have it. Oh, right. It would probably help if I explained a bit. Well, do you remember that big storm we hit earlier? The one where almost everyone was getting sick? See, I had some grasses in my bag that are actually pretty good for nausea, and that seemed to really help everyone. I think I also brought some stuff that's good for sleeping. I'm sure it could help you. No, don't worry. This stuff isn't grass. It's actually... Hang on. I could have sworn I had some at the bottom of my bag. Maybe things got moved around during the storm. It was a pretty rough sea out there. Did that make you nervous too? A little bit? Well, that makes sense. After all, a lot of people almost got thrown overboard by the sea. I wouldn't blame you for being scared after that. Oh yeah, there was also that fight that almost broke out. That wasn't the best timing on their part, don't you think? Yeah, I thought it was a bit weird. After all, who goes on deck during a storm? You could get thrown overboard. But in a way, it was lucky that they were there. Didn't you hear? There was a crew member who almost fell overboard. They tried to catch him, and then I jumped in after him, and they caught me. And then, together, we were able to pull him back. Yeah, you didn't hear about it? Well, that's one of the reasons why I'm way too excited to sleep. After all, something like that, it really gets your heart racing. Yeah, I guess some people would be more inclined to sleep after that. After all, it might be exciting, but it's pretty stressful. And after something like that, you'd probably be dead tired. Unless, of course, you're a kid like me. Then you're just energized and you can't sleep for the next 5 days. Well, no. I can't say that I probably will stay up for the next 5 days, but I might as well try. After all, it might be necessary. Well, if the hunter exam is really as dangerous as everyone says, then maybe sleeping with one eye open or not sleeping at all would be best. So in other words, I guess I really need to find these herbs. After all, if this is the last chance we have to sleep for a while, we'll need to take advantage of every moment. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Here, I'll dump out everything and look for a little bag of tiny, dry purple flowers. They might also look a bit bluish, and then I'll work on finding the yellow flowers. Or maybe we can just look for both of them together? I'll be honest, I'm not that good at what's the word again? Delegating, right. I'm not the best at that. After all, I am only 12. Yeah, why wouldn't I want to be a hunter at this age? Well, I am young, but I want to be a hunter so I can find my dad. Yeah, he left when I was really young. What about you? Why do you want to be a hunter? You're not exactly sure? Then, I hope this doesn't sound rude, but why are you here? If you're not sure why you want to become a hunter, why put yourself through all this stress and danger just to do it? Oh? You were lying about not being sure? Is the reason you want to be a hunter a bit embarrassing? You don't have to be embarrassed by anything around me. I once ate a handful of mud just to see how it tasted. Well, yeah, I ate mud. In all fairness, I was a whole 2 months younger than I am now. Hey, that got a smile out of you. So, why do you want to be a hunter? You want to prove something? What are you trying to prove? You want to prove that you're brave and strong? Well, why do you think that you need to prove that? A lot of people told you that you weren't brave when you were growing up? And that you weren't strong? Well, that isn't very nice of them. You seem pretty brave to me, and very strong. After all, you didn't even get sick during the storm, and that means that you're guaranteed a spot in the exam. But what? Even your family thought that you couldn't do this? Is that why you're so stressed? You're worried that you'll disappoint your family if you can't do this? It's worse than that. What do you mean? Oh, I guess that is worse. You're not worried that you'll disappoint them. You're just worried that you'll prove them right. That really is stressful. I can't even begin to imagine how awful that must feel. Well, no, my family wasn't exactly the same. You see, my aunt, she just didn't want me to become a hunter because it's so dangerous, and because it was what made my dad leave me. I kind of understand where she's coming from, but I think that if he was willing to leave me behind for being a hunter, it must be something pretty great, right? You think I'm being optimistic? What does that mean? Oh, abnormally cheerful? Yeah, I get that way a lot. It's just how I get through life. And honestly, it makes life a lot more fun when you try and think of the positives. Huh? What if you're in a situation where there aren't any positives? Well, then, you make something positive. For example, in your situation, your friends and family don't seem to support you, but, at least you're already one step closer to proving them wrong. That's a positive, right? But the hunter exam hasn't even started. Well, you're getting good practice in. After all, if you can survive a storm like that, you can survive most things, right? But you can't sleep, which means you might not be able to perform at your best? That is a bit of a tougher one. But, hey, I found them! Here we are. This is Lavender, and this is Chamomile. They'll be able to help us. You've heard of these? Yeah, they're really great for sleeping. They're also great for stress and relaxation. After all, if you're stressed, you just pour yourself a cup of tea made out of these, and then, bam, instant relaxation. Yeah, I really do know a lot about this stuff. I learned all about it early in life. That way I would always be prepared. Well, I'm glad that you like it. Here, I'll work on making this, and why don't you tell me a few more things that are negative in your life, and I'll try and help you find the positives. Well, of course I'm sure. After all, I always want to help my friends be able to see the positives. And we are friends now, right? Of course I want to be your friend. You seem nice enough, and you're interested in becoming a hunter. And I have the feeling that if we work together, we can get through this a lot easier. So, what do you say? Do you want to be friends? Great! Then there's another positive. For the whole thing, actually. You're not going to be going through this alone. You'll have a friend by your side the entire way. And I won't stop supporting and helping you. I promise. Hey, don't cry. Don't cry, it's okay. It's okay. They're good tears? I've never heard of that happening before, but I'm glad they're good at least. Oh, here. Drink your tea. And then we can get settled into bed, okay? No problem. I'll always be here to help you, okay? That's my best friend guarantee.